would have known this young lady in the earlier years while working at Win Communications. And I'm going to say this, and then you'll understand the context of where I'm going with it. In that wisdom is putting feet to knowledge, right? Because once you have knowledge and you gain knowledge, then therefore you now apply that knowledge and wisdom comes forth, right? Vandana, Mohit, Mayor, it is so interesting calling her Mayor, right? Her worship, the Mayor of Chaguanas, Ms. Vandana Mohit. How are you?
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure indeed having you on the program, and congratulations on all success that, of course, you've had, and continued success, as you sit now in a very different seat, right, as the Mayor of the Central Borough. Now, I want to take it back to the Win TV days. Yeah, we're going to keep it real. And I remember when you first came in, you were, of course, you were like, that was about, what, 19, 20 years old? You're about
18.
18,
yeah.
Right. And what I admired about you was that even though you came with one department, you were willing to go in any department and learn. Whether you were in the newsroom, administration, advertising, you just wanted to soak up as much knowledge as you can. And I'm saying that because now I saw where over the years, because you left, you went into politics, your third successful term as councillor, and now you sit as mayor. And what I'm seeing now is that that knowledge that you gained there and other places, of course, that you really would have put feet to your knowledge and you really worked the ground and you worked the area, you met, you're loved in your community, and now you are the mayor of Chaguanas. How has that journey been for you as you reflect on, the last, let's say, 10, 12 years thereabout?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me,
No
and
problem.
it's indeed my pleasure as well to be here, and I wish all of you a very happy new year and a prosperous 2020. Getting into my journey, Sheldon, which you've been a part of course,
Yes.
being friends when I was doing my practicum at Win TV,
That's right.
trying to complete my associate degree. And you mentioned about the system, and I was there, just never had an issue working in any department. Just recently, an old gentleman said to me, when you're in a system, learn all about the system. Don't put yourself in a position to be limited in your knowledge. And being a part of Win TV and all these other stations, being a part of my political institution, it has taught me so much. The journey was not one that was very easy. It has been very challenging, but I never allowed it to take away my smile and serving people. And I enjoyed every bit of serving persons in my last 2 terms. And to know that I'm now the mayor of Chaguanas, I'm very happy, despite challenges even after that. But I'm still here, I'm standing, I'm strong. And each and every day my office is filled with persons, they're so happy. Apart from needing help, they just want to say congratulations. They all want to tell me I've worked so hard because they have been through it all with me.
I entitled this show today Through Our Eyes, and I'm not in the context of me, but through the eyes of young people. And the subtitle to that is Youth and Leadership. Through your eyes as a young person and everything you've been through, and you also have a young mayor in Point Fortin, and across the political landscape, we're seeing more and more young people. What are your concerns and in terms of how people view you, or do you believe that you all are given a fair chance to prove yourselves in this arena, generally speaking?
Back in 2013, when I entered the UNC to serve in active representation, I was one of the very few young persons at that time. It had others as well. Eventually, when we lost the election, young persons kind of drifted a bit, and then we started building together, the few young ones that we had within the UNC. We worked together, we started rebuilding our party, rebranding, and you would see in my last 2 elections, my tagline was the youth influence we need, because I've realized that when us as young persons started representing, persons saw a difference, they liked what was happening. It's not easy as a young person or young persons, representing people to face those who are experienced. That has been a rocky road as well for us, but I'm speaking for young persons within politics as well. And But you just have to stay in your lane, as I've said it before. Stay in your lane and battle, and you would reach where you want to reach. You would achieve what you want to achieve, apart from serving persons.
Looking at the video that we started the interview with, and let's take us back there just for a few minutes. Because once you are firmly rooted in a solid foundation, or let's go a little more specific. If you're deeply rooted in good soil, then no matter what people do to try and shake you, you will grow and you will flourish and you'll blossom in that soil. And that's what happened to you. Can you just take us on a journey back now to your childhood, and what, in terms of your childhood and growing up, that would have strengthened you for all that you have been facing over the last few years or months, that you are still standing strong and representing the people so proudly?
Going back to that video, I became like, when I looked at it, I remembered memories, went through my mind of how rocky and how such humble beginnings I came from. Really, really, really poverty-stricken family. I was a young woman who had to engage in a lot of farming activities before going to school, and upon returning from school, to ensure that my family had what we needed.
So you got your hands dirty.
Yes, yeah. Yes, of course. And I've been through all of that, and my father always taught me, he's now deceased, eat little, live very long. He didn't live long, of course. He died at the age of 44, but I took his words, and he always taught us, you must always work hard for what you want. And I've done that. I've come from very humble beginnings, as I said, and I've continued my work throughout the community. I have seen a lot of young persons who, when I look at them, I see myself back then. And I've tried my best to help many of them. You would not believe how young persons are very happy. They actually see that young people within this country have a chance in leadership. Their views are taken into consideration. The fact that I am 29 and I'm able to lead a borough now, you are yet to see the results, but many persons would have seen the results of me as a counselor, and correct. They have great faith in me. So, young people do have a chance. This is what I can say. And challenges, when you face challenges, you don't always see it as this is the end of my world or my life. Challenges are really there to be a part of your success.
And the thing is, I think what we have to understand, and there is a term that I use a lot of times called bridging the gap, and also in building bridges. And the thing is, if we really want to build bridges with the youth, we have to understand it's a teamwork. And we have to be mindful of what seeds we plant into young people. We can either plant seeds of discord, which will bring forth poison, or weeds, as they say, or we could plant good seed, which is good information, and of course watch them grow. Too many times we see we're planting bad seeds, and then we're wondering, oh, why did this young man or young woman turn out the way they did? Well, what did you plant? And did you water the seed? And so when you speak of your father, and that resonated with you throughout your life, clearly that seed was well planted, because again, you continue to flourish in the position that you're in today. When you entered for the first day and you sat as mayor, what was first on your mind in terms of priority in the Central Borough? I know a lot of work has been done in the past, I know that, but I'm sure there's a lot more work to be done. As with anything, change is constant. So what's happening right now on the ground in Chaguanas that you're working on currently?
Currently, as soon as I took office, it was a bit, I couldn't believe that this actually happened, but it did, and I was very happy for that. I thank Almighty God, of course, for giving me the opportunity to be the mayor of Chaguanas and to be the youngest mayor of Chaguanas. And one of the first, well, actually there are 6 projects I'm engaging in this year to ensure that Chaguanas has what it takes to become a city. We've been hearing Chaguanas to become a city,
for quite some time.
But we still need a few things, despite being on the council in the past few years. And, we've been trying to do it. As mayor, I've seen where we need a few things, including an outreach center, the first outreach center in the borough of Chaguanas. Chaguanas is to become the people's city, meaning the people would be consulted on every move. so that our transitioning will be very smooth.
All right.
All right, the Cunupia food strip, they are those that exist in Queen's Park, Savannah, those that exist on the cross in San Fernando, where's the strip in Chaguanas, and we've identified the Cunupia market
Okay.
close by there, the environs, where that will go. My first research center coming out of the borough itself,
Right.
where young people who, you know, they don't have a computer at their homes, engaging with the businesses so that they can have that facility to conduct their research, do their printing and so on with Wi-Fi and all of that.
Right.
Our heritage area, completion of that, including our tourism site at the Shipping Road in Felicity, and the Chaguanas Mayor's Fund.
Really? Tell us more
Right?
about that.
There is an existing Mayor's Fund, but this mayor, Vandana Mohit,
Vandana.
yes, is going to ensure that we launch our Mayor's $1 fund. You go to the United States, you go to different countries, developed countries in this world. You go to stores, when you shop, they ask you to contribute to an NGO, to contribute to a child by use of $1. And my tagline for that will be drop a dollar, care for a person's prosperity, where persons throughout Chaguanas can go to their stores, businesses, the banks and whatnot, and they would be able to give $1 or more, whatever they wish to give, towards the Chaguanas Mayor $1 fund, where I would be assisting those groups within enterprise, Chaguanas, everywhere in Chaguanas, for their, in their sustainability. I would be assisting disabled kids in their needs, you know, needy families through my counselors, you know. So that is one of my greatest moves for this year, because too many times us as politicians, we need stuff to give to people and we have no way of getting it. So this one is very passionate,
I can tell.
you know, and
really
it's very important
Yeah.
to me. And I sat and I thought about it for a lot, and you know, this is going to happen in this year.
Wow. What has the support been like in terms of the council, you know, in terms of you're now sitting again as mayor? What has that support been like? Because I know apart from being a young person, I know women in leadership has also been something that has been under attack as well. How have you dealt with some of these issues within the public domain?
Yeah. The good thing about Chaguanas, I would say, you know, we have a lot of females in our council.
That's true.
And I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud about that, because in years that gone by, we never had so many females in Chaguanas borough. And, you know, they're all passionate about their work. They've been very supportive of me thus far, even the males. And, you know, when we sit around a table in our planning meetings, in our planning sessions, since December, it has been very, very cohesive. Everyone seemed to be on the same page, and we are working towards a common goal, which is to make Chaguanas better. We can only become better.
Your political leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, she always echoes this statement, and I mean, this has been for years: do good, see good, and good will follow you. What is your relationship like with the political leader that would have helped mold and shape the woman that you are today?
You know, one thing I would always say is that opposition leader, Mrs. Bissessar, she has been very supportive of all of my work since I became a councillor, even before I became a councillor. And she has always guided me, you know, to keep strong. Your number one, you know, factor in being in politics as a woman is to be strong. If you're not strong, you're going to fall. And that has, you know, been planted in my heart whenever I'm representing, and I have been going through a smooth road with some rocks ahead.
Some
yeah,
rocks, yes.
But you know, our relationship, it has been great, and you know, she has chosen a path where she has been listening to young people and bringing them forward into representation, which a lot of people are very, very happy about.
Right. What? I'm going a little deeper into your heart chambers here. From an intimate place, we're humans. And there are times we do get discouraged. There are times it's painful. I said you've had your share of pain. You've had your share of, challenges, as we say, even attacks. When you sit down in those quiet moments and you're reflecting on the work that you've done, all that have been planted, the seeds have been planted in your life, and what makes you say, I'm not going to give in? Have there been moments where you said, I'm tired, I want to let go, but then there's this little voice that says no? And when that voice says no, what does that voice tell you? What makes you hold on and say, you know what, I'm going to fight this, I'm going to push this, I'm going to push through?
Each and every day, I've tried to assist someone. And there were times when I felt like giving up, but when you see WhatsApp, that has played a great role in my life.
Interesting.
Because of the fact that persons would message me and they would say to me that you are God sent, you're an angel, you have done something to touch my life, you've been there, you make all of us so proud. That this is before I even became mayor.
Right.
What you're doing, keep it up, you have very far to reach in life. I gave laptops, I gave bags, I gave so many things to my community in Cunupia before I became the mayor that persons would say to me, you have no idea. Just someday, when I felt so hurt after a few days, and a gentleman, he was in a shorts and top, he walked up to me and he said, you are the new mayor? I said, yes. He said, I just want to tell you, you gave my daughter what I could not have afforded, a laptop. And you helped her, and you are helping her now in her education. And I said to myself, it's a good thing you never gave up, So young people under the age of 18 would say to me, Auntie Vandana, you have made a difference in my life.
Yeah, man, we can call Auntie, right?
That's okay,
All right.
But I'm 29, but I feel like 40 at times. Yeah. With all of these, responsibilities, you tend to not be so much taken up into the youth life. I only recall that I was a 29-year-old the youngest mayor when I saw it on all the newspaper articles. Yeah. Hey, you're the youngest, you're young. I didn't feel that way just before that. But yes, these are the things which have kept me strong and going. And, whenever I feel down, what I've done and how people feel about it, it kept me up.
And the thing is, and just to give you a source of encouragement as well, and I say this openly, I've known Vandana for years, and once you are not short-sighted by your challenges, then therefore your vision remains clear. And God don't deal with short-sighted people, because the Bible speaks about a man without a vision, he's lost. And Vandana, I've known her for years, and she really had a vision even since then when she was 18, 19 years old. And before we go to break, just to encourage her and others as well, that despite whatever you're going through, once you are doing something unto God, there'll be more for you than against you. And that is a biblical truth and a biblical fact. So again, congratulations to you. Now, in terms of your relationship with, and I have asked this, prior to when we had our Meet the Counselor series, I asked all the counselors this: what is your relationship with the counselors from the other party? And that, of course, being the PNM. And what is your relationship with them, or what it has been over the years? And what do you hope to achieve by having a cohesive relationship? At the end of the day, whether who is in power or who is sitting on the seat, we have to work together, and that's the bottom. So what is your relationship with them right now, and what do you hope to gain? What would you like to do to improve that relationship?
Well, my relationship with the opposing side, it has always been very cordial. There are two members at this point, two
Right.
PNM members existing at the Chaguanas Borough Corporation. And as a leader, you have to have your style, and you have to be ethical in terms in certain instances. And the two members, I've included them in every project thus far, and we've had discussions. We would have our own meetings, but of course you have discussions with them and you inform them of what your plans are. And I think we're going pretty well. Our relationship is pretty good.
All right, so I want to touch on some specific issues concerning Chaguanas. And I don't know how much you can speak on it, because I know you're still getting your feet acclimatized to the environment. In terms of the traffic situation, I know that is an ongoing challenge, and there's only so much you can do because the grid is already there. Yes. But I'm sure I saw some walkabouts you had, and you've been trying your best to alleviate whatever you can in the short term, but what, again, vision, what is your long-term goal to try and deal with that situation that has been plaguing the central? Because again, it is such a busy shopping area, whether it be Diwali, whether it be Christmas, whether it be Carnival, people flock to the central borough, but there, of course, is the monster traffic. What is your vision for that to try and deal with that situation?
Well, you would notice that most of the traffic now are along the Nasalura-Maya Road, which is now the core
Right.
strip.
That is
We've labeled that.
by the Niagara side cross,
Yes,
right? Good.
yes. We've labeled that as the core strip of Chaguanas.
It is very busy.
Because it's extremely busy, not only with personnel, but cars as well, vehicular traffic. And just Friday, I think it was, my office would have written, in collaboration with our engineer and CEO, to Director of Highways Division, where we've asked for an urgent meeting to discuss the traffic situation with all our partners and stakeholders, such as the police service and all of them. Because we have some plans, but it has to be feasible, so I don't want to release it just yet.
That's fine.
We are assessing some situations at this point in time. After that meeting, we'll see how best we can action some of those ideas, so that persons coming in and out of Chaguanas and our residents, they feel a sense of relief in terms of the traffic situation.
Secondly, and again, another challenge in Chaguanas issues surrounding building codes and buildings that are being built very close to each other. Is that something that has been on the table, or?
That is something which was being dealt with over the last 1.5 years. There have been some changes in terms of how the council operates with the members of the public. We've played our roles in terms of our Municipal Corporations Act, how we go out there and we see what exactly is happening and how we can assist as a council, but with the guidance of our technical team. And there have been some changes. We've been able to clear up a good backlog, an existing backlog, which we see as a bit of progress. Of course, in this new term, we would be continuing such, so that the concerns of persons within Chaguanas would depreciate.
And lastly, on this particular, in this context, the crime situation in the central borough, how is that being dealt with? Or crime situation?
Or crime situation. Well, as I've explained, through the Mayor's $1 Fund, one of the teams which have been dealing with the criminal aspect in Chaguanas is that Rudan Dojo, getting the youths involved. Youth being involved and being kept away from criminal activities, it's very important to us in Chaguanas. And the work of this team, it's marvelous. We've gotten the police service.
Tell us more about this team, if you don't mind, for those who are not aware.
So Rudan Dojo, headed by Marva, Sensi Marva Logan, they've been working within the enterprise area with the police, with the religious institutions, trying their best to get the young persons involved so that they can be involved in curricular activities rather than being out there seeing what they are not supposed to see. And our situation in there, it has improved. Throughout Chaguanas, it's not the best because crime is now a national issue.
Of course.
But we are trying our best to do what is required on a community level within those communities. And it has been very impressive, the work of this group, especially the Enterprise Community Council, Single Fathers Association.
So Rondell Fees, congratulations to him. Yeah.
He has been doing a good job as well, a tremendous job. And all of these works are in collaboration with the police, community policing, and the borough of Chaguanas. And we are very happy to know that we can assist and we can play a great role in these young people's lives, the schools as well.
And I think if you look at statistics, and again, let's be honest, in terms of what we've been hearing in terms of crime in Trinidad and Tobago, it's been, for the most part, pretty scattered in Central. I have not really been hearing a lot of major crime taking place. And again, going back to the whole concept building bridges, the stakeholders clearly have been involved. Rondell Fees and whoever else may be involved, congratulations to you. And because you all are building this bridge together over what we consider troubled waters in TNT, the bridge clearly has been able to stand strong. And you all, of course, can continue the business at hand in the central borough. Just a few minutes again before we close, we have to bring it back for our part two. Where we get but in terms of, you mentioned young people and with the dojo and so forth, but I realize there is a strong passion for youth development in TNT. On a broader scale, Trinidad and Tobago, because I mean, you're the mayor of the borough, yes, but you are now representing, I would say, the people of Trinidad and Tobago on a larger scale as well. Huh?
Yes.
What would you like to see in terms of development, in terms of programs, in terms of whatever it may initiatives for young people in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're also in an election year? What would you like to see for young people in this country as a young person yourself?
Young people, doors may not always be open to leadership, despite the fact that we have a place, you have the opportunity to be a leader, but in terms of young people, where they need to start, they lack opportunities. And opportunities have been decreasing, but we've tried our best on a borough level to sustain that. However, for young persons, we need to see a lot more in terms of employment, right? Many persons are graduating,
Right.
even at my office, without a job opportunity. The communities, I see they are building a lot of programs to assist their youth. The school teachers are taking a greater role in terms of developing their young people apart from an education. But we need, when they get out of here, their opportunity must be awaiting them.
Right.
And I think the opportunities for youth, it's lacking in this country. I have a lot of plans for young people, and I do hope that within these 3 years, I can get that funding to give young people what they need in Chaguanas. So the rest of Trinidad and Tobago can take a page and start building their own. One of the most important projects on my agenda for young persons is to get them involved in agriculture, being their own entrepreneur. And that would be to ensure that I get the Chaguanas Rural Technology Park, where young people can get involved in agriculture, plant their own crop, reap their crop, and sell their crop.
Now you understand what I mean about a vision, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So once you have a vision, you shall never fail.
Yes.
So I want to thank you so much. Anyone you want to say thank you to? It's the New Year 2020 vision, yeah? So the camera is yours. Anyone say thank you to?
Sure. It has been very difficult in responding to everyone who've been sending congratulations to me. So first of all, I want to thank everyone who've been congratulating me for all of your support, all stakeholders who've been giving their support thus far, my family, my friends, people like you, all of these media channels who've been giving me the opportunity to lay out my plans for Chaguanas. Thank you for all your support thus far, and keep your support going towards me, because I can assure you that I'm going to do my best to make Chaguanas a better place.
And on that note, we too say thank you very much and God's blessings to you.
Thank you
We'll
so
definitely
much.
keep you in prayer and we will keep in touch. This has been Cloud9 on A Seat and the Voice. Our special guest this evening, Her Worship, the Mayor of Chaguanas, Vandana Mohit. Take care of yourselves and each other, and God bless you.